Okay, this plate is saying Happy Valentine's Day to you. We are going to go from these beautiful strawberries to these chocolate covered strawberries. Which one do you want? We're going to get our strawberries nice and clean, so we're going to go ahead and just rinse them under some water. I'm going to lay down some paper towels, and we're just going to dry them off. And then we're going to place them on a plate to finish air drying. I am ready to start melting the chocolate so that we can dip our strawberries in them. I've got a medium saucepan over medium-high heat. I'm trying to bring this water to a boil. It's about 2/3 of the way full. That's going to be like the first boiler, and then the second boiler is going to be the one that we put on top of the pot. Now you want to make sure that when you do that, your water is not going to splash over. Some of the strawberries I'm going to dip into some white chocolate. So this is Ghirardelli and it's white chocolate chips. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, pour this in there, and then I'm going to start melting it. Okay, this is what I use right here. You can use any white chocolate chips you want. You can do any flavored chocolate chips if you want to do semi-sweet, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, whatever you want to do. Now when you get to a simmer, you can go ahead and lower your heat and let the steam from the pot of water melt your chocolate chips. Just keep moving it around with a spatula until it gets nice and smooth. Make sure you use a towel to hold your bowl. And just take the back end of your spatula and then just push on the chips. Alright, we're going to let this just sit on simmer while we prepare our pans. I'm using 2 cake pans and I've just lined them with some parchment paper, so I just cut out circles to fit into the bottom here. And what we're going to do is take your strawberry, pull all of the leaves up, use that as your little handle, and then you're just going to take it and you're going to swirl it in your chocolate. And you can use your spatula to help. Just be very careful because the chocolate is hot. Just shake it a little bit to get off any excess chocolate. And then we're going to lay it on the parchment paper. And that will help set it up. Now while your chocolate is still warm on the strawberries, if you want to add some sprinkles, you can do that. I have some Valentine sprinkles, pinks and whites, all in different shapes and sizes, so I'm going to sprinkle some on top. And you don't have to go on all sides of these to make these look pretty. Okay, we have these. What I'm going to do now is place these in the freezer to set up. Happy Valentine's Day. Today it's all about making easy cake pops. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is prepare our cake mix from a box. Now I'm using a red velvet flavor because it is just so fitting for Valentine's Day. So I have the cake mix in a large bowl and I'm going to add the ingredients that show on the back of the box into my bowl here. So that's going to be 1.5 cups of water, 1/2 cup of melted butter, and 3 eggs. And then we're just going to mix this all up. Now I am preheating my oven to 350 degrees. Go ahead now and bring over my 9x13 baking dish. Now we're going to spray it. Pour our cake batter into our baking dish. How pretty that is. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to bake this per the instructions on the back of the box for a 9x13 baking dish. It's going to cook for about 30 to 35 minutes. Once a toothpick goes in and comes out clean, we're good to go. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to work on the cake pops as soon as this cake is cooled completely. Now you want to get a large bowl, and what you're going to do is take your cake into pieces and then crumble it into our bowl. I've got some cream cheese frosting here, and I'm going to put about 1/3 of it into my cake crumbs here, and we're going to mix that all up. We definitely have a good mix on this. I'm loving this right here. We're going to make our cake balls. I've got a 1.5 inch cookie scoop, and I'm just going to drag it through it, pack it in good, scrape it along the edge to get a perfect amount in there so that all of my cake balls are the same size. So I'm going to use my clean hand, put it right in the center, and roll these to a nice ball. And I'm just going to place these on a sheet pan that I can fit into my refrigerator or freezer. And there we go. Now I've got some parchment paper lined on here. Okay, now that I have my cake balls formed, I'm going to go ahead and put them in my freezer for just about 30 minutes to get these nice and chilled. I've got candy melts, and this is a 12-ounce package. Now I'm just going to use about 1/3 of this and melt it. That's what I'm going to use to place these cake pop sticks in. I'm going to melt these according to the directions on the back of the package. So you just want to put some on the end of the stick, and then you want to take the cake ball, plunge this right in. These are the sticks that I'm using. Now I got these off of Amazon. What I'm going to do is place these back in my freezer for about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, so I'm getting some cute containers ready. I've got a styrofoam ball here that I'm going to kind of fit pieces of into my cute red pails. When I'm done with my cake pops, I'm going to place them into the styrofoam. I'm going to go ahead and start melting the rest of my candy melts. So what I'm going to do now is just put it into a narrow cup. So I'm going to take the cake pop, plunge it in, and come back up and get any of that excess off. I have some sprinkles. There you go. That is so cool. Look at these cake pops. Y'all give me a thumbs up. I have a very easy, scrumptious strawberry cheesecake puff recipe. We're going to start off by preparing our puff pastry. They come 2 sheets to a package. I'm going to be using 1 sheet today. Before you make this dessert here, you want to pull this out of your freezer, and then you want to thaw these out for about 45 minutes. So the sheet comes like this. So I'm going to lay this on a baking sheet right here where I have some parchment paper. I'm just going to lay it in the center. We're going to unfold it. Now they should have paper in between the folds, so you can just pull those off. I'm just going to cut along the fold line since they're already measured like that. Drag your knife through it so we don't cut through the parchment paper. Cut the 3s into half. Pull these apart to give them some room to cook. Now all we have to do is place these in our preheated oven at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure you check these that they are nice and golden brown. Nice and golden on the backside, and they do puff up. Look at those nice puffs on here. Okay, so while my puffs are cooling down, what we're going to do is make the cheesecake filling. Now I have 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I brought this to room temperature. I'm just going to add this to a medium-sized bowl. And to that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. I'm just going to take a hand mixer, and I'm going to blend this all together for about 3 to 4 minutes until we get a nice, creamy, smooth consistency. Ooh, snack for later. Okay, so I'm going to take my cream puffs here, and I'm going to slice them in half. I'm going to be using a serrated knife, and just go slow with this. We're going to do this the long way here. So we have a top and a bottom. Oh, do you see all those little pockets? That's what's going to hold all of our goodness. Just be gentle with these. They are very light and fluffy. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take our cheesecake filling, and we're going to divide it by 6, and we're going to fill the bottom of each cream puff with about 2 tablespoons of our cream cheese filling. We're going to smooth this out. Now I'm just using an offset spatula. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some strawberries that I rinsed off really well, cut off the tops, slice these, place these right on top of the cream cheese filling. Take like half a jar of some strawberry preserves, jam, jelly, place it into a bowl. Take my fork and just stir it around really good. We want to make this spreadable. We want to take some of that jelly and put it on there, coat it just like that. And what we're going to do is top our strawberries with it. Guys, we're gonna make it snow on these. Today I'm going to show you how to make JellO poke cupcakes. Make sure you grab some muffin tins, fill them up with some paper wrappers, and let's get started by making the cupcakes first off. So I'm using a yellow cake mix. I've put my mix into my large bowl. I'm going to add half a cup of melted butter, 1 cup of water, 3 eggs. Use my hand mixer and I'm going to beat this for about 2 minutes. Cupcake tin filled with some just standard size paper cups. I'm going to fill these about 2/3 of the way up. So I'm just using a measuring cup. I'm going to place these in my oven that's been preheating at 350 degrees for 12 to 17 minutes. And what we want to do is be able to pull a toothpick out of the cupcake clean. I'm going to cool these down completely and then I'm going to bring you back. Now what I'm going to do is, if you can see right here, is I've put holes in them, about 6 of them. I'm using just the back end of a skewer. I'll go right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. As many as you want. I'm doing 6. I have my cupcakes sitting on a pan, covered it with some tin foil, and what that will do is once I start pouring the JellO onto my cupcakes, any excess that falls off the cupcake will just hit the tin foil right here and not make a big mess. I'm using a strawberry flavored JellO. This is the 6-ounce box. You want to have 2 cups of hot water kind of handy. I smell that strawberry. Add my 2 cups of water and start stirring until it's all dissolved. So now I have about 1 cup of crushed ice that I'm going to put in, or you can do 1 cup of cold water. Very carefully add that. So I'm going to be using a big spoon for this onto each of the cupcakes and kind of aim for the holes. I'm going to take them off the sheet pan on a plate, let them chill for about 1 hour, and make the frosting for it. I'm not going to just make any frosting, like, you know, out of a can. I am, but I'm going to add Cool Whip to it and fluff it up really good. Go ahead and open this, put it into my bowl. Now I'm going to put the Cool Whip in. I'm going to use my electric hand mixer to blend this all together. I'm going to take my frosting. I've got one of these piping bags here with a kind of a big star tip. Okay, I'm going to start on my cupcake here, start in the center, and I'm just going to swirl. I've got one more thing to do to really jazz these up. So I have some strawberries and I've washed them off and I cut the tops off. So what I'm going to do is take one. I'm going to make slices about 3/4 of the way through the strawberry, kind of like when you're cutting an onion. Spread the slices out so they don't break, like that, and then place it right on the cupcake. Look at those beauties! Strawberry JellO poke cupcakes. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification so you'll know when shows like this one here are posted. Okay, you can find this recipe at www.catherinesplates.com. Go check it out. I'll see you on my next episode.